Lenovo presents At the Heart of India's Progress in association with CNBC TV18.
India's digital revolution is well and truly underway thanks in no small part to a heady mix of government initiatives, tech advancements, and rapidly expanding internet connectivity. In the recent past, this nation has progressed a great deal and has made rapid strides in areas like e-governance, digital payments, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing. In fact, all of this has resulted in the creation of a formidable digital ecosystem that has benefited businesses, governments, and citizens alike. And that brings us to where I am today, which is Lenovo's Bengaluru campus, where I'm also to be joined by Shailendra Katyal, Managing Director at Lenovo India. Shailendra, great to meet you here, who's also to talk to me a fair bit about technology and innovation and how they're helping the Indian economy and Lenovo India's part in the mix. Shailendra, good to have you with us here on CNBC TV18.
Jude, happy to host you. Welcome to the Lenovo campus.
Let's dive right in, Shailendra. There's been so much talk about AI in the recent past. In fact, it's moved on from being a mere watchword to being a tangible reality that most companies hope to get with in the near to medium term. But what do you make of AI itself? Is it all hype as of now, or is there a lot more reality associated with the term? And are we seeing the dawn of an actual AI era at the time and place that we find ourselves in?
That's a great question, Jude. And yes, the world is kind of divided. That is just the hype cycle, or when we see real applications come through. Just to demystify this a little bit, right? AI and ML is not new. The terms have been around for at least the last 2 decades.
Right.
What has actually changed is it's become generative, right? And what is powering the generation or the ability of machines to learn faster and produce more is actually the computational power. So there's now GPU capacity. We have the NPU, which has come into even basic computers, which is allowing machines to learn faster. And this entire talk about large language models that the machines will get trained on.
Right.
And help us generate and become more productive in the future. That is the recent development. Is it hype? Absolutely not. As a technology leader, we're deeply invested in this space. And we truly believe this is as similar a moment like the birth of the internet.
Right.
Right? When all of us get connected, did you ever imagine that there'll be a Google emerging out of it or Amazon emerging out of it? I think the real difference, apart from this computational power which is coming into everyone's hands, will be the applications, the killer applications which will get developed. We are still at, I would say, first base. There's a Everest to climb.
It's a long way to go. And like you rightly said, it is no doubt a watershed moment, as significant as it is, given the fact that there's so much left to go in terms of embracing AI and making it our own. But you know, Shailendra, I'm always curious about what kind of place India has at the table, really, insofar as AI is concerned. Do we have a seat at the table? And if yes, how big a seat is it? And is India all set to really embrace this AI boom?
As a company, we truly believe that it's not just a seat at the table. India will be at the center stage of AI development. And we don't speak lightly when we say that, right? What is AI finally getting built on? It's built on data and large language models. We have 20% of the world's population, huge diversity of languages. So there will be a lot of indigenous LLMs which will come to the fore, right? Machines finally have to get trained on that large amount of data.
Right.
The second, if you look at who's going to do the AI development part of it, right? So India historically has been the IT provider of the world, right? All the coders emerged from India. And given that there's a lot of demographic dividend still, we see that currently India supplies maybe 5% of the coding talent. Our estimate is India will provide 20% of the AI talent that the world needs.
By when? When are we talking about?
It's all happening as we speak, right? A lot of the companies are creating AI COs out of India, including ourselves, and we'll have a look around that COE as we walk through the campus.
Right.
So if you look at large language models, 20% of world's data. If you look at AI talent to develop the killer apps, that will emerge from the country. And the third is in terms of AI supply. Where are the products getting designed? Where are they getting manufactured? Where are they getting exported from? Given the entire geopolitical reshaping of the world, we do believe that India has a strong role to play in all the 3 dimensions that I just spoke.
Now, you know what I'm going to ask you already. So given that India has such a role to play, where does Lenovo India fit into the mixture as far as this potential is concerned? Surely you're doing a whole lot. You have been doing a lot on the hardware front, but this is an AI era, and I'm sure you have a whole lot up your sleeve. So where does Lenovo fit into the mix insofar as these plans are concerned? And what do you have that's on offer or all set to happen insofar as AI goes?
So you've been tracking us as a company, right? And we've been around. We've been around for 20 years, which is not very long by most large company standards. We still say we are very young in the market. And if you look at our investments in this space, whatever we call as our full AI stack capability that we are developing globally, India is a fantastic representation of that. So on one hand, you have AI in your pocket, right? With our Motorola phones, you have AI in your PCs, which is through our ThinkPads and Legions of the world. And on top of that, we are now going to design, manufacture and export AI servers out of the country. So very deeply invested on topics like Make in India in terms of developing skills which are relevant for the AI world. Lenovo is right up there in terms of investing in the market.
You know, but Shailendra, I can't help but also wonder, any discussion about AI and the topics almost always shift to the kind of talent on offer. In fact, various reports have spoken about a possible glut at having to fill this gap in the near future should the potential actually be realized. What is Lenovo doing to address the talent question when it comes to AI and develop talent and skill in this space?
So, like I said, we are becoming more solution and oriented in our approach in the country as well. So, our global center of excellence for AI actually is getting built in the same campus that we are doing this chat on. On top of that, if you talk about skilling for manufacturing, so we have our own plant in Pondicherry where we are going to very soon roll out our first GPU-based servers. So we are training people how to design those products, how to manufacture the products, and also develop solutions on top of that.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll slip into a really short break. But on the other side, we'll delve deep into solutions delivery centers and talk about how Lenovo is making a whole lot of progress on this front as well. Keep watching CNBC TV 18.
Lenovo presents At the Heart of India's Progress in association with CNBC TV 18. Lenovo presents At the Heart of India's Progress in association with CNBC TV 18.
Welcome back. You're watching Lenovo Presence at the Heart of India's Progress in association with CNBC TV 18, where we're spending a day at Lenovo's Bengaluru office, and we've shifted base now to the Network and Security Operations Center, or as it's more commonly called, the NOC Center right here at Lenovo. And we continue in conversation with Shailendra Katyal, MD at Lenovo India. But we're also joined by a very special guest. Venkatraghavan SK is Director of Solutions here at Lenovo. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and welcome back to the show. You know, Shailendra, before we get ahead, we spoke so much about AI and all the potential that it has, but the question still remains, how does Lenovo's plan fit in to India's AI mission really? Is there a synergy that you've developed and cultured and curated over time, and how has that taken form and shape?
So when we were watching the space very closely over the last couple of years, we were delighted when the AI mission from the government came out and it said AI for all.
Right.
Because as a coincidence, 2 to 3 years back, our global vision statement was smarter AI for all. So we saw it as a great fitment of vision of the country and our global vision as a technology leader. And in the heart of that is the word for all, because we truly believe that AI has to impact the masses. It has to democratize. It is not just in the hands of a few technology leaders. So great fitment there between what the government wants to achieve,
no doubt,
and our investment in that space.
And speaking of investment itself, what are your investments like as far as Center of Excellence is concerned? It's a very integral part of the way Lenovo does business, not just in India, but across the world. So what are investments like as far as your COEs go?
So we've been a great believer as a company in the engineering talent and the technology talent that the country has to offer. From this very campus, we run 5 or 6 of our global centers of excellence. You talk about analytics, you talk about web development, you talk about the R&D work that we do on our Motorola phones. All those are happening from the same office that we are talking of as we speak.
Right. And you know, when it comes to AI COE as well, the question still remains, how does it help you go about servicing global customers? I know for a fact there's a whole lot out there, and there are capabilities here that can help you reach out far and wide. So what's the SOP there, and how does it help really insofar as spreading your wings and servicing the more global side to your market?
So clearly that's the hottest topic, right? And when we were debating last year, where should we build as a company our AI center of excellence? And Bangalore almost automatically came out as one of the top choices. And when we were linking it back to, we do large global service with our customers, with all the CIOs. Interestingly, we saw that the adoption of AI, the interest seemed to be highest in the Indian CIOs. So we saw it as a happy marriage that we'll set up the AI CIO out of Bangalore, and so that we are able to service the high interest that we are seeing from our not just Indian customers. We always say that Lenovo is not just India for India, it's India for the world.
Right. Well, no surprises there. Bangalore really is at front and center when there's any discourse surrounding tech, and I would assume emerging tech like AI as well. Venkat, very quickly coming to you. I know we're at the nerve center of Lenovo in a sense, the knock-sock block, so to speak. How does this space really help you go about developing cyber resilience and enhancing your monitoring mechanisms, really? I know there's a very interesting story here. So what role does it play really in achieving these goals right here at Lenovo?
Fantastic question. I will dwell on what Shailendra said about what we do in Bangalore and India, which is not only India-centric, it also supports a lot of our global customers. So we always think global when we orchestrate, architect, and deliver solutions from this campus. He talked about factory. We build a lot of our server systems, including GPU servers based out of our Bangalore. We have our R&D center in Bangalore. This is not only for India, it is for global. We also have a huge capability of remote operations for our infrastructure business. We follow the Sun model. We support all our global customers, including our India customers here. When we look at infrastructure, there is always cyber first. So cyber resiliency is a very important service we have, and we support our global customers here. We monitor the threat landscape of our customers and constantly alert them in case if something is going wrong. So that way, this center is an extremely important center for our capability around infrastructure solutions, including cyber.
Well, that's a very ambitious and an impressive list of capabilities that you have here. But on the solutions front, Venkat, what are the solutions or what are the array of solutions that you have at your disposal to deploy right here at the center?
So when we talk about infrastructure, Lenovo is an infrastructure company by heart. We are one of our core DNA is engineering and R&D. Given that we are a powerful brand in India offering infrastructure solutions, we have a unique offering called TrueScale, which is nothing but as a service model. True means really true.
Right.
So we deliver our TrueScale offerings, both at the client side, we call it device as a service, constantly called as DaaS. We also offer infrastructure, which is basically the private cloud offering as a service. And here, the most unique part of Lenovo is, assume a customer gets into a contract as a service for their infrastructure, say private cloud. He has an opportunity to select a standard model, or he can select a flexible model. And we give an opportunity to the customer to change from one of this during the contract period, which nobody does. So truly and uniquely, we have the customer-first approach with respect to infrastructure solutions.
Well, like the adage goes, customer is king, no doubt. On that note, Venkat, great speaking to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And on that note, we'll have to slip into another very short break. But on the other side, we'll talk about R&D and manufacturing and how Lenovo's operations closes out a crucial piece of that puzzle. Keep watching CNBC TV 18.
Lenovo presents At the Heart of India's Progress in association with CNBC TV 18. Lenovo presents At the Heart of India's Progress in association with CNBC TV 18.
Welcome back. We're in conversation with Shailendra Katyal, MD at Lenovo India. Shailendra, we're inside Lenovo's ISG lab, so to speak, or infrastructure solutions lab here at Lenovo India. Now, this place plays a very important role in terms of the kind of role that Lenovo plays insofar as India's mission to becoming a manufacturing superpower. What's the game plan really? How do you plan to help the country achieve that milestone, and by when?
Yeah. So Jude, I'll come to the lab in a bit, but like I was sharing with you earlier, we're still a young company. We've been around for about 20 years in the market. And guess what? We've been making in India for the last 2 decades.
You have, yes.
Yeah, so for a lot of people, Make in India is a new topic. We've been doing it for 20 years or so. And if you look at our entire manufacturing footprint, 100% of the Motorola phones that we sell in the market are made in India through our partnership with Dixon. We also export, by the way, to other markets like North America, the India manufactured phones. Coming on the PC side, we have Pondicherry as a manufacturing facility for the last 20 years. And that is the same facility where we are going to roll out our first GPU-based servers on. That's not too far away. In the next couple of quarters, we would be rolling out the first GPU servers. And again, not just for India. We are going to export those products out of the Indian market.
But the question really also is, how do all these plans fit in really with the production-linked incentive and India's manufacturing and Make in India schemes really? How do you plan to get there, and And what's the way ahead really insofar as aligning yourself with these goals of PLI is concerned?
Yeah, we were very excited with both versions of the PLI. We were one of the first beneficiaries on Motorola on the PLI 1.0. And we made strong commitments again, either through our own investment or through our partners on PLI 2.0 as well. And we are in talks with the government, eagerly awaiting the PLI 3.0, which is not just about then the assembly, but also the component level sourcing from the Indian market. By the way, we are PMA compliant, right? 50% plus value add local sourcing. We have achieved that on many of our product portfolio.
Right.
But we are going a little beyond that, because it's not just about manufacturing or using India as a sourcing hub. We are actually going to the heart of design, and which is the facility that we are in. This is the latest investment that we made in the last 1 year.
And on that note, I think I had to introduce your colleague, Satish Pratap Neni, who is, of course, R&D Director here at Lenovo India. Satish, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We are pretty much at what is considered home ground for you, the ISG lab, which is spearheading the kind of R&D work that you do here at Lenovo India. Give us a lowdown, if you will, Satish. What exactly goes on here, and how does it help you achieve the R&D goals that you set out for yourself here at Lenovo India?
Yeah, so what you're looking at here is a state-of-the-art R&D lab, which can actually produce some of the latest AI-based servers, which can actually enable a lot of the new workloads which customers are facing today, and some of the data processing needs what they have. So these are all from scratch, end-to-end developed here. So the research and development happens here. So I think we are very unique in a way because we are coming from a place where we need a deep expertise, and for that we were legged out with all the leadership, looking at acquiring a team entirely from the Intel, which came with which has server background, and then further we built up with some of the HP related talent as well. So we have deep expertise, and then that was also complemented with the charter, which was mainstream servers, which are the AI, the latest servers. I think SK was talking about some of the manufacturing of these servers, and some of these mainstream servers will be manufactured here, right here in India. So that is quite exciting.
So Satish, what is the composition of the India R&D Center here at Lenovo India? And more importantly, how does it take into consideration, or how does it take into account environmental considerations that make themselves prevalent at this time and place?
Good question, Jude. To make a complex product, it takes a slew of actually profiles, and then and also co-locating them. That's pretty unique here. So we have people who are doing system design. We have doing firmware development, software development, thermal, mechanical, power designs, and all the compliances pieces also happen here. So it is a varied roles all under one roof, and then we coexist along with the sales, marketing, and the other folks as well. So it's really a end-to-end game, and the products which come out of it are really key is actually the quality, which we are number one reliability for the last 10 years. And for creating such products, you really need to go through the rigor of the tolerances, analysis, and that all happens here. And so that's really goes towards the sustainability as well. And then also another part is the cooling, liquid cooling is, we are very unique in that. You must have seen in the press some of the latest Neptune release. What that enables is actually we can do 100% water cooling, and also it gives you about 40% of savings on the cost for a customer, a data center customer. So which is a huge plus, and all that needs a lot of analysis and rigor, and that all happens here in the testing as well. So we have thermal chambers which we can test all these things.
Absolutely, it's a whole lot going on in as far as your Bangalore hub is concerned, including a lab along these lines. So thank you so much for breaking this down for us. I'm sure it'll go a long way in helping our audiences understand just a little bit more in terms of the work that happens here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But moving on, Shailendra, the question is, as you look into the future, what are some of the key focus areas for you here at Lenovo India?
Yeah, so we've been talking about the growing importance of India. I think the first part is about the demand side, that India is a growing market. Digital penetration is growing, adoption is growing for everything, right? Whether you look at smartphone penetration, whether you look at PC penetration, or now with this new thing about data localization, even the data center capacity is growing manifold. So we are very excited about the revenue opportunity that India provides. And we are reasonably large. We've been around, like I said, for 2 decades. But most of the time, it feels that we are just getting started when we look at the huge potential that India has to offer in terms of the demographic dividend, in terms of the fastest growing economy, a very stable political regime, the right incentives for tech in the country, right? So as a tech player, we are very excited with all the opportunity that India offers from the revenue side. And we spoke about the supply side as well, right? That it's not just about using India as a revenue hub. We're actually using India as a development and a sourcing hub. So very, very excited.
Right. So with those key focus areas, the question really now must be, what are some of the key differentiators on the AI front that makes you stand apart from the crowd? And what is that likely to be for you going forward?
So we are very excited with this vision of AI for all. Like I said, it fits in very well into our global vision of smarter AI for all. And happy that Lenovo India will play a big role in that vision to unfold in the coming years.
Well, on that note, there's a whole lot to look forward to from Lenovo's stables when it comes to AI, infrastructure, technology, and the ongoing Make in India initiative. But more importantly, it's the culture of innovation, progress, and growth that's all set to really change the game when it comes to the next big leap of India's ongoing digital revolution. With that, it's goodbye from us. Thanks so much for watching CNBC TV 18.
Lenovo presents At the Heart of India's Progress in association with CNBC TV 18.